Hello dear student, I welcome to all. I am Dr. Ashok Yevle, Assistant Professor from Department of Zoology, KTHM College, Nasik. In today's presentation, we are going to discuss histological structure of esophagus. Under this topic, we can focus on topics like what is esophagus, what is location of esophagus, histological structure and function of esophagus. So see, in this slide, we can visualize a structure of alimentary canal. So what is alimentary canal? Alimentary canal is a most important organ of digestive system. Alimentary canal is a tube-like structure, starts from mouth and ends to anus. In between these canal having different compartment means there is a increasing or decreasing a size of canal, and that particular organ is called as a specific organ. Suppose for example a large sac like compartment called as stomach. After stomach there is a intestine, and before stomach there is a esophagus. So in this way it is a long tube like structure, and that long tube like structure is called as alimentary canal. The mammal can intake food through this alimentary canal. That is why the required nutrients obtained to the animal because of only alimentary canal. Main function of alimentary canal is intake of food, digestion of food and elimination of food. So see, in the beginning of alimentary canal there is a location of mouth, and just behind the mouth there is a mouth cavity. After mouth cavity there is a pharyngeal cavity, and pharyngeal cavity leads into esophagus. Esophagus leads into stomach. Stomach leads into small intestine, and small intestine leads into large intestine, and in this way large intestine end the alimentary canal in the form of anus. So see the structure of alimentary canal. It starts from mouth and ends to anus. Now we focus on esophagus. What is esophagus? See, esophagus is a tube-like structure. It is a muscular tube which connect pharyngeal cavity to the stomach. So whatever food is masticated in the mouth cavity, it passes to the pharyngeal cavity, and from the pharyngeal cavity this food passes to the stomach with the help of esophagus. The main function of esophagus is only to transport the food from mouth to the stomach. Only transport is a main function of esophagus. It can form a bridge between pharyngeal cavity to the stomach. Esophagus is about 8 inch long, and internally or the internal wall it is lined by a moist pink colored tissue called as mucosa. It is a epithelial tissue, and with the help of this tissue food can passes from pharyngeal cavity to stomach. Now what is location of esophagus? See, as I said in previous slide, the alimentary canal is there, and alimentary canal leads into esophagus just after the pharyngeal cavity. See, this slide shows esophagus and the transverse section of esophagus showing different layers, and at the center there is a cavity, and that cavity is called as lumen. If we take a section of this esophagus, we can visualize four different layers, namely serosa or adventitia, second muscularis, third submucosa, and finally mucosa is there. Now what is location? See, location, esophagus runs just behind the windpipe or trachea and the heart in a chest or chest cavity and in front of the vertebral column. See, here I mention location. Just parallel to the windpipe or trachea and the heart in front of vertebral column, esophagus is present. Actually, in a neck region, we can visualize two tubes. One tube is called as esophagus and second tube is called as trachea. One and the same function of esophagus to transport food from pharyngeal cavity to the stomach, while the function of trachea is to transport the gases like O2 and CO2 from nasal cavity to the lungs and vice versa, lungs to nasal cavity. Just in behind the heart, there is a transport or the location of esophagus and in front of vertebral column. So in that spaces, we can visualize the structure of esophagus. This slide shows a transverse section of esophagus. As I said, transverse section of esophagus shows four different layers. See, it is a innermost layer of esophagus, that is mucosa. Second layer called as submucosa. Third layer is called as muscularis, and final outer layer is called as serosa or adventitia. Mucosa, it is innermost layer of the esophageal organ. At the center there is a cavity or lumen, and within this lumen there are some folding like structure, and that folding like structure is called as rugae, or we can say uh, structure that move or that help to move food from pharyngeal cavity to the stomach. Mucosa consists of non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium, while submucosa is consists of a circular and longitudinal muscle, while muscularis is the largest portion of esophagus and it forms from circular as well as longitudinal muscle, while the outermost serosa or adventitia layer is made up of epithelial tissue as well as connective tissue. Mostly the adipose tissue is consist of adventitia or serosa layer. Now see, first, serosa or adventitia, it is the outermost layer. As I said in earlier slide, it is an external fibrous coat consists of loose connective tissue. Due to loose connective tissue, it can provide a flexibility to the esophagus and it may continuous with the surrounding structure of esophagus. This portion having many vessels, blood vessels and nerve fibers. That is why the main function of esophagus is to be operated. Only the serosa layer of esophagus having blood vessels and nerves, and just beside three layer there is no vessels and nerves. Because of presence of blood there is a proper nourishment of esophagus, while due to location of nerve there is a sensation or it will help for the movement. Second layer is muscularis. It covers maximum area of esophagus. As I said, it covers maximum area of esophagus. Upper area of muscularis consists of striated muscle, while lower area consists of non-striated or smooth muscle. These muscles are arranged in two layers, inner circular muscle and outer longitudinal layer or some tube like esophagus. See, in previous slide, this layer, that is muscularis, consists of circular as well as longitudinal muscles. Then third layer, submucosa. It contains mucus gland. As a name suggests, submucosa, it contains mucus gland, and mucus gland secrete mucus. Mucus gland are numerous upper region of esophagus. So the layer is branch and tubular. This layer is branch and tubular. Due to branch and tubular structure of submucosa, whatever mucus gland is there, that secretion of mucus gland secrete in this region, and due to branch location it can move at their proper destination. Due to secretion of mucus gland, it produces or it makes lubrication structure to the tube, so food can easily pass from pharyngeal cavity to the stomach. Finally, the fourth layer is called as mucosa. It is innermost layer. Food is always comes in contact with this layer because it is inner wall of esophagus, and it consists of three sublayers, namely muscularis mucosa, lamina propria, and surface epithelium. It is innermost layer, so obviously it comes in contact with food, and just on the mucosal layer there is a submucosa, and submucosa having mucus gland. So due to secretion of mucus gland, these mucus secretion provide lubrication to the mucosal layer, and due to the broad distribution of mucosa into muscularis mucosa, lamina propria, and surface epithelium, it provides a specific movement, or it provides a contraction or a relaxation activity on the food which transport from pharyngeal cavity to the stomach. Muscularis mucosa, it is a thick area of longitudinal fiber. Lamina propria, it is made up of areolar connective type of tissue, and surface epithelium, it is innermost, that is made up of squamous epithelium. And due to squamous epithelium, obviously whenever the food is passes from pharyngeal cavity to stomach, there are certain injuries or there are certain damage provided to the inner wall of esophagus. So this squamous epithelium is a runoff tissue. It can renew after the complete or after injury. It may redevelop on the inner wall of esophagus. Now these are about structure. Now we turn to function of esophagus. Esophagus is a muscular tube and which connect mouth to the stomach. As I said, it is a bridge between the pharyngeal cavity to the stomach. The esophagus serves or passes the food and liquid from mouth down to the stomach. Only the way for deposition of food in the form of solid and liquid with the help of esophagus. With the help of esophagus, we can deposit a food into the stomach. Then periodic contraction. See, as I said, it is only a tube-like structure, 8-inch tube-like structure, but due to presence of specific type of muscles in the inner wall and the periphery of the esophagus, there is a contraction and relaxation is produced with the help of nerves, and due to contraction and relaxation of the nerves, the food can move from pharyngeal cavity to the stomach. Means there is a alternate contraction and relaxation, and due to alternate contraction and relaxation exerts pressure on the food present in the lumen of esophagus, and due to pressure exerts on the bolus, the food can slowly move from pharyngeal cavity to the stomach. So that activity is called as peristalsis. Peristalsis is nothing but a physiological activity through which muscle can exert pressure on a specific substance. Due to that, there is a occurrence of contraction and relaxation, and these alternate contraction and relaxation help to transport the food from pharyngeal cavity to the stomach through the esophagus. So in this way, we observe today's presentation, structure and location and function of esophagus. In exam question ask, write short note on TS of esophagus or write the functions of esophagus. So in this way, you have to prepare these two questions, and I think you understand better. So next time we'll meet again with new presentation. Thank you.